Hey friends, welcome back. This is season 3 of Thursday Thoughts Over Tea, and I'm your amazing host, Angie H. And don't worry, just like every other season, we're going to have amazing topics. We're going to have amazing guests. We're going to deal with our holistic health, and we're going to also dig into societal issues and the things that plagues us. Don't worry, because I will also be that ray of sunshine on your cloudy day with my motivational moments. So be sure to meet me here every Thursday and have that cup of tea ready, and I want you to sit back and enjoy the show. Hey guys, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts Over Tea. I am your host, Angie H, and welcome to this week's episode. Let's talk about mental health. I know that I've talked about it on previous podcasts, even back in May. I talked about the emotional freedom of men, how they don't really have a space to be free or to talk about their emotions. But mental health as a whole in African American culture is something that we really need to hone in on. For whatever reason, it's a stigma that we should not go, in our culture, we should not go to therapy, or it's an issue with therapy. You going to therapy, you're weak, you don't pray enough. Different things like that, different aspects play in the part that you kind of shy away from therapy, some type of life coaching, some type of counseling, something like that. But at the end of the day, it is vital. It is needed for your overall health. In the past week or so, we've seen celebrities battle with their mental health. We've seen the issue where Nick Cannon, which I spoke on last week, Nick Cannon spoke his truth, he spoke his heart, and the backlash that he got from it. And then the backlash that he got because he apologized for hurting the people. Not that he changed what he said, but his approach and the impact that he made on a community of people. And in that same token, as a culture, we praised him for speaking that truth, and then we bashed him for apologizing. And so it caused him to be like, you know what, y'all can have Earth. So at that moment, he was in a mental state where he wanted to end it all. And then we have Tamar Braxton. The same thing, got to a place that she tried to take her life and ended up in the hospital. Now has to, get some evaluations and things like that. And now we see Kanye West breakdowns. We know that his mental state has been, and his mental health has been an issue ever since his mother passed, but now it is spiraling even more, from harasser tweets, and then his wife saying that, he's bipolar, you can't make him get help and things like that. But my whole thing is this. First of all, they're celebrities living their life in the spotlight for us to critique and to have a comment on, without even knowing who they really are and what they really deal with. And that is one thing I feel is a major problem in mental health when it comes to celebrity, is because they put their lives out on display for entertainment or seeing whatever it is that they doing for the public, and then they putting it out there for us to judge. But we forget that they're humans just like us. So for some reason we put them on this higher pedestal, I guess because they're out in the public, they're out on display, and we forget that they're still human, they still struggle, they still have issues. And so we judge and we apply more pressure, which affects their mental health. But it has to be a hard thing mentally when you want to end it all and you have children. The hurt has to be so painful that you just want to say goodbye, period. And then that is why it's very vital that we need to get out of this mindset that therapy is not for black people. That's white people stuff. Because I hear that a lot. And it's not. I'm telling you now, it is not. And we really need to put that into our daily routine. Mental health, something with our mental health. We try to eat right, we exercise, and we in the gym and we're doing this and we're taking our walks and we're getting our 4 and 5 miles in, but we're not putting that same energy into our mental health. What can we do for our minds? What do we need? I'm gonna tell you, therapy and life coaching has helped me tremendously. And I think that what people like to keep you in that box of this is how she handles things. Oh, she's angry. And so they put that out there on display so that when you do act out, just like with, Kanye, you're not even taking his feelings in account, because it has already been put out there that he's bipolar and he's going through things. But he could be speaking his truth. He could be trying to ask people for help. But now we're totally disregarding it because we already know he's crazy. Or Tamar is always loud. She's always dramatic. So when she really cries out, we looking at it as another stunt for attention when really she was asking for help. This is why you have to be very careful with how you handle people. Because a lot of people that are surround them always will put out a certain stigma. They will always put out, like me. She's always angry. That's just her. She's angry. That's how she handles things. She'll cut you off. She has an attitude problem. She's so dramatic. She overreacts. That is what has been put out. So when I react in a way, that's what people already think of me. So I could be asking for help or needing some help or, trying to go to somebody. And what's the first thing that people gonna think? She just being dramatic, keep it pushing. This is what people deal with in their mental health being pushed and slid under the rug. And everybody always has something to say about how you need to handle a situation in your mental health, as if everybody don't have something to work on. I know that like I said, my life coaching and my therapy has helped me tremendously to the point that I protect my peace. I focus on me because I have to be the best person that I can be, my true authentic self for my children. Period. They are my responsibility. And I had to take into account that I can't look to anything or anybody else. I don't care. I'm not looking to my husband. I'm not looking to anybody else that surrounds me for my happy or my sense of peace. It's not their responsibility. It's my responsibility to be the healthiest me, mentally and physically and emotionally, so that I can be there for my children. Because they're not at an age yet where they understand that what they need to feel happy relies on them. They're too young. So I make it a constant to pray, God protect me from people and hidden agendas, or people that's connected to other people with hidden agendas that could affect my peace and my happy. And you will be surprised how you find yourself distancing yourself from people and you don't know why. You don't have an understanding of why, but it was the prayer that you prayed. And people don't have that outlet of people that they can talk to. I have been fortunate that I have a coach, a therapist. I also have a sister, different people that I can go and tell everything to. Like, I don't have to pull back in my sharing. I could just lay it out. I could just, say whatever I need, and sometimes when you are a celebrity or something like that, people are yes men. So they're going to tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. They're going to pacify you. They're not going to be real with you. So when you're really crying out and you really, really need that outlet or someone that can point you in the direction to help you, you don't really have that, because everybody is there to please you, not to give you what is real. And it's amazing that, what people deal with in private that we don't even know about, that affects them every single day. And I know for me, when I am dealing with stuff mentally, it affects my body. I begin to get to a place where I can't digest things, or I have heartburn or something like that. And that's how I know that something is going on, and I'm not handling it properly. But then who do you go to? You got to have an outlet. It's very important that we really, as a culture, take a serious look at mental health, because mental health plagues us. It's not a white person thing. It's not a Mexican thing. It's a everybody thing. Everybody has issues with their mental health. Everybody is overwhelmed, especially during this time. Like, it's so much has changed in a year that we are dealing with that we never thought that we had to deal with before. And it's stressful, but we have become masters of holding everything in, and I'm gonna figure it out because I handle my business. I this and I that. I got this under control. When actuality, you're unraveling at the seams and you don't want nobody to know. And then you're taking on all this different pain and you're packing it on in layers. And so when you start to pull it back and it starts to unfold, it begins to cause you even more pain, and then you snap. But all people can remember is what they were told by other people. She's this or he's that. He's going to snap. He's bipolar. He's this and that. So when you do snap and you're really crying out for help, you're labeled already. So be that sounding board, be that listening ear for someone, because then when we get to a place where somebody kills themselves and everybody's all depressed and everybody's all sad, I can't believe that they did that. Why they didn't talk to me? How do you know that they didn't? So make sure that you're available. Because sometimes for a lot of people, it's easier just to say, I'd rather be done with it and not feel anymore. Or they mask it with drinking and drugs and different things like that. Even sex, like a temporary fix to the pain. So take it seriously. We are seeing examples in front of us in the past week of people unraveling, and their only way out is to end it all. At that moment, they haven't thought about their children, their family, their friends, or anybody. They're thinking about finding a sense of peace. And they feel that sense of peace has just ended it all. But we speculate and we comment on everybody else's pain because the label has been put out on that person. And that's what you see. Kanye, he's bipolar. Oh, he just having an episode. He bipolar. He's crying out. Tamar, she's dramatic. She angry. She's an angry black woman. That's what she do. She probably did this for attention. There's no sympathy there because the labels have already been put out there. And I'm pretty sure the labels were put out there on me. So people look at me as over the top or dramatic and whatever. But not knowing what people really dealing with. We're so quick to put a label on somebody as if we know that person. We don't know that person. I don't care if you've been with a person 100 years or whatever. You really don't know that person to their core because they may have never shared it with you. So you got to be very careful how you dismiss people or how you gravitate to the label and not the person. I'm very cautious of what I share with people because I have learned that people will sit there and get everything that you have to tell them, and you're thinking that you're getting it off your chest, you're finally releasing, and they take that information and they give it to somebody else. They're giving ammunition to somebody to pray against you, speak whatever kind of witchcraft or whatever you want to call it, speak that over you. or they always got something to say for you to bring back to that person when they don't even really intimately know that person. Like, you got to be very careful who you share with, and so that makes it hard. That makes it hard for you to release. So we hold everything into the point that it causes us to create habits, or it causes us more pain. So we remain silent. But we have to really find a stranger. I'm just going to be clear. A lot of times you can't talk to the people that you know because you can't trust that that person is a safe place to harbor your secret, or for you to release without telling somebody else. And that is why, as a culture, we don't share, because we don't know. But a lot of times, you really have to invest in some type of coach or some type of therapy where by law, they can't share your information. But it has to come out. And we're seeing the reasons why it has to be released every day when we see these people go through these bouts of mental breakdowns. And that's why I'm very protective of my space now. I've learned that I'm very protective of my space. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is, because I'm not giving you any ammunition to tell somebody else so that y'all can pray against me or speak something over my life that is not true, and then it tries to manifest, and then I am in a worse state than I was when I just needed somebody to talk to. So start to heal. Start to realize the importance of talking to someone about your mental health, because what happens is we are continuing a cycle for generations to generations, and our children will not know how to speak or not know the value of their mental health, because they're doing the same thing that we were taught and the same thing that we're doing. Mental health is vital. Mental health is important. Mental health need to be taken just as serious as you want to get your summer body and everything else that we do in our physical. Our mental and our emotional is very important to our overall growth and becoming who we're supposed to be. So that has been my Thursday thought. Tune in right after this break, and I will give you your Black Excellence 365. Thank you. So I know you're probably asking yourself, as you listen to this amazing podcast week after week, who is Angie H? And it's quite simple. I'm just a wife and a mother trying to use her platforms to empower and impact the world. What platforms, you ask? Anise Charles Organics, ANISE Charles Organics. This is my holistic health company that I use health coaching, holistic nutrition, and herbal products to help you and to promote holistic living from the inside out. Defining Our Purpose. This is the platform that I use my book, Inspirations, which is a journal devotional, as well as motivational videos. I take the time out to listen to you and help you navigate through your darkest times. But if you want to find out more about both of these platforms, just simply go to www.definingourpurpose.com, or as you're scrolling up and down your timelines on IG and Facebook, simply like my page or follow me at Anise Charles Organics, ANISE Charles Organics, or Defining Our Purpose. Hi guys, and welcome back to Black Excellence 365 Moment. So we've been told that Elisha Otis created the elevator. We know that. But before this amazing inventor, the doors of the elevator was opened and closed manually by operators. Well, Alexander Miles came up with the idea to create a mechanism that will have the doors of the elevator to open and close automatically. It is believed that he came up with this idea when his daughter Grace accidentally fell down a shaft that almost ended her life. So this is when he created the mechanism that will allow the doors to open and close. Because as I said, in his time, when the elevators, they would go up and down, but an operator had to open and close it manually. And if it was not closed all the way, just like his daughter, a person could fall through the shaft. So what Miles did was he improved on his mechanism by designing a flexible belt attachment to the elevator cage and drums positioned to indicate if the elevator had reached a floor. The belt allowed for the automatic opening and closing of the doors when the elevator reached the drum on the respective floor, which was done by the levers and rollers. So, whenever you're on the elevator and it's going up and down and you finally get to your floor and the doors automatically open and close, thank Alexander Miles. Because without that, it could still be done manually, which could lead to more horrible and horrific accidents. So thank you for tuning in, and until next week, you guys have a great day. Hey, so did you enjoy this week's episode? Well, I hope you did. But you know what you can do if you never want to miss another episode? Just simply subscribe to Thursday Thoughts Over Tea on all podcast platforms, or follow me on IG at Thursday Thoughts Over Tea. Be sure that if you have any thoughts or concerns or any topics that you want to discuss, simply send me an email at definingourpurpose@gmail.com. Always remember, your thoughts are amazing, but sometimes they're even better when you're sipping on a hot cup of tea. See you next week here on Thursday Thoughts Over Tea with Angie H.